If you're uncomfortable, afraid of heights, or confined spaces, an elevator may not be the best choice for you. Thoughts and secrets of others unravel easily here. They may surprise, delight, or even frighten. As stories are revealed in the dark elevator, space and time often take on different meaning. Enter at your own risk.
The ransom hunter Nick Stringer was found guilty of smuggling cocaine in the tires of his Indy race cars. Stringer leaves his home in Los Angeles and travels to Cumming, Georgia. His daughter Gina and son JJ operate a unique gym catering to jiu-jitsu, Muay Thai, for rising UFC cage fighters. Chasing ransoms will be his future venture. On his 3-day train ride, Stringer meets a fellow passenger in her late 20s that is a high-tech nerd. She becomes part of the family's new unique endeavor, recovering ransoms paid by corporations and wealthy families. Stories involving the complexity and uncertainty surrounding ransom recovery will be the focus of each episode of The Ransom Hunter.
Now watch as it gets happy.
As it gets what?
Happy.
Happy.
Getting very happy. And at this point, you just add in your angel hair.
I want everyone out there in TV land to understand this club is open for everyone, right?
Yes.
You can come into dinner anytime, and the prices are extremely reasonable. I'll be honest with you, when I leave here and I look at my bill, I won't leave with a happy face.
Dr. Frank Gallo, a renowned plastic surgeon and recovering drug addict, motors to his Wilshire Boulevard medical office. During the procedure, Gallo loses his concentration and botches a facelift on a famous movie star. His wife rushes to his side and loses her life in a horrific car crash. He goes before a medical examiner. After a short hearing, his license is suspended for 10 years. Gallo loses everything. Distraught, he joins the Marines as a medic and intelligence officer and is sent to Iraq. Gallo's life is turned around after suffering brain trauma from a roadside bomb that killed his entire platoon. He's discharged from the Marine Corps. Gallo's job-seeking abilities are affected by his medical condition. He loses all will to survive and winds up homeless on the streets of Los Angeles. One night, while sleeping under the 6th Street Bridge near the giant Los Angeles train yard, Gallo hears muffled voices in his head from his ghost platoon, telling him that an LAPD police officer, Letitia Jackson, is trapped in her police car above him after running over a car bomb. Gallo arrives on the scene, feeling that his ghost platoon is there with him. They extricate the unconscious officer from her car, but as police arrive, he slips into the crowd knowing that he can't explain what happened, and retreats to his homeless encampment. Officer Jackson recruits Gallo and his ghost platoon to help her fight crime in the drug-filled streets of Los Angeles. Kathy and Ron are sitting on the couch watching the local news. I'm Jess Marlowe. Welcome to the KNBC News 11 p.m. weather forecast. Now let's see what the weather is like later tonight in LA. There is an 80% chance of rain through the night lasting through early tomorrow morning, sending it back to you in the studio with an update on the Skid Row Slasher. The Skid Row Slasher, that's what they're calling him now. It's not safe to walk the streets in downtown LA anymore. I hope they catch that serial killer. It's giving me goosebumps just thinking about it. Do you mind if I cozy up to you, Ron? You're so nice and warm. You make me feel secure. You're right. It's like a real-life nightmare. People are getting attacked in broad daylight, all hours of the night.
Do you believe that extraterrestrial intelligence has visited planet Earth?
100%.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Carl Phillips again, out of... Ladies and gentlemen, this is Carl Phillips again, out at the Wilmot Farm, Grover's Mill, New Jersey. Professor Pearson and myself made the 11 miles from Princeton in 10 minutes. Well, I hardly know where to begin. Paint for you a word picture of a strange scene before my eyes, like something out of a modern Arabian Night. Well, I just got here. I hadn't had a chance to look around yet. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Carl Phillips again, out at the Wilmot Farm, Grover's Mill, New Jersey. Professor Pearson and myself made the 11 miles from Princeton in 10 minutes. Well, I hardly know where to begin. Paint for you a word picture of a strange scene before my eyes, like something out of a modern Arabian Night. Well, I just got here. I hadn't had a chance to look around yet. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Carl Phillips again, out at the Wilmot Farm, Grover's Mill, New Jersey. Professor Pearson and myself made the 11 miles from Princeton in 10 minutes. Well, I hardly know where to begin. Paint for you a word picture of a strange scene before my eyes, like something out of a modern Arabian Night. Well, I just got here. I hadn't had a chance to look around yet.
Sorbo Milot, a former Marine intelligence officer in his early 40s. He's a tough, street-smart detective with a strong sense of justice. Sorbo lives on a 48-foot sailboat in San Pedro Harbor and owns a high-tech Tesla. Garbo Milot, Sorbo's daughter, is in her early 20s. Garbo's a former UFC fighter and martial arts expert with a fierce sense of loyalty and determination. She shares her father's sense of justice and drive. James Hansen, a former priest turned secret commissioner. He's wise, methodical, and trusts Sorbo and Garbo implicitly. Appointed by Mayor Jeremy Ball, he's the link between the duo and their assignments. Mayor Jeremy Ball is a crime-fighting Los Angeles mayor who recognizes the need for a secret unit, like the Blue Column. The mayor believes in Sorbo and Garbo's mission. The rise of corruption, unsolved crimes, and underworld dealings have become unbearable. Mayor Ball makes the decision to form a secret unit called the Blue Column. Our superheroes Sorbo and Garbo are equipped to take on decades of overlooked cold cases and kidnappings, while investigating white-collar crime and corruption with their high-tech time-traveling Tesla. LA, streets are dangerous. People are robbed and shot every night. Women cannot walk the streets without being shadowed and harassed by the homeless and the mentally ill.
I mean, Marlon Brando was an extraordinary person to work with, but it was magical. It wasn't, you didn't talk acting stuff with him. He'd come in and go, and that meant, where is the shot? And I would work with him through props. I would put little salami out, or I would take a cat and just put, but not words. I would never talk about acting stuff. He would hate it if I talked about, kind of acting talk. But I always worked with props and, kind of offered him things that might help him. But he was a man of incredible intelligence.
Sorbo Milot, a former Marine intelligence officer in his early 40s. He's a tough, street-smart detective with a strong sense of justice. Sorbo lives on a 48-foot sailboat in San Pedro Harbor and owns a high-tech Tesla. Garbo Milot, Sorbo's daughter, is in her early 20s. Garbo's a former UFC fighter and martial arts expert with a fierce sense of loyalty and determination. She shares her father's sense of justice and drive. James Hansen, a former priest turned secret commissioner. He's wise, methodical, and trusts Sorbo and Garbo implicitly. Appointed by Mayor Jeremy Ball, he's the link between the duo and their assignments. Mayor Jeremy Ball is a crime-fighting Los Angeles mayor who recognizes the need for a secret unit, like the Blue Column. The mayor believes in Sorbo and Garbo's mission. The rise of corruption, unsolved crimes, and underworld dealings have become unbearable. Mayor Ball makes the decision to form a secret unit called the Blue Column. Our superheroes Sorbo and Garbo are equipped to take on decades of overlooked cold cases and kidnappings, while investigating white-collar crime and corruption with their high-tech time-traveling Tesla. LA, streets are dangerous. People are robbed and shot every night. Women cannot walk the streets without being shadowed and harassed by the homeless and the mentally ill.
Trusted loved ones, to the wounded, fragile minds of angry youth. No sooner was it over than the memory made it nobler, a selective means by which to point the view. Compelled but not defeated,
Hi, my name's Jean and I work here at Enzo's. And right now I'm making our Ruby Red Citrus Martini. It's very popular here at Enzo's. I'm not going to tell you all the ingredients because it's a secret, but people love it and you can get an idea of what it looks like when I'm done. So I'm going to shake it up. Shake it up real good. Get out a martini glass, set it down. Look how beautiful that is. This is a ruby red martini, and then we garnish it with little grapefruit. You can taste it. Go ahead and have it. Try it. It's yummy. It's there anyway. It's good, right?
Yum. So good. That is delicious.
You hope it's
with Deep Eddy, right?
Yeah, it's the Deep Eddy and then the fresh grapefruit.
If you're uncomfortable, afraid of heights, or confined spaces, an elevator may not be the best choice for you.
There's your clams, scallops, and shrimp.
Hey Frank, it's Tony Pomponio. Hey listen, I'm heading over to Enzo's. I talked to Chef Vito today, and he told me come on down. He's got some great food, and they got a bocce court, and you know what? I think we're gonna have a good time if you get over here. Hey Tony, what the heck? How'd you get here so fast?
You said it. Food, bocce, all of this. That's all. I don't need to waste any time about that. So let's go in and have some good food.
Well, let's get this party started. All right.
Welcome to El Corso.
How are you?
Very good, senor. You are in the best family Italian restaurant in South California.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Now, go park the car.
I will.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Tony Pomponio, and I am so happy to be here in Southern California at one of the most famous Italian restaurants, El Corso. Today, I have no problems. As you know, I usually have a lot of problems, but no problems tonight. We're going to go in and meet with Chef Mario Marfia and his staff, and they're going to cook us a great meal. Chef, ¿cómo está? We are at the beautiful Palm Desert Resort Country Club, and we're going to go in and meet with Chef John Dutra, and he's going to cook us a couple dishes, and it's going to be great. I'm also going to have a special guest today. You know him as the Godfather, Tony DiGirolamo, on Wise Guys Cooking. So let's go inside and let's go meet with the chef. Hey, there he is.
Hey, Tony.
What are you gonna cook for us today?
I got some great special dishes
Hey.
you here
We're lucky guys today.
at Palm Desert Resort.
None of that Americana. We want Italian stuff.
Hey, that's why we're here.
Any calabrese, shrimp can.
My favorite. That's my favorite.
Yeah. Not much. Just enough.
Hey, Michael O'Toole here at the Gondola Getaway down here in Alamitos Bay, Long Beach, where we take gondolas and cruise them through the canals over in Naples. We went over to watch a gondola race back in 1984 and were invited to come back and participate in a regatta called the Vogelonga. It's a 20-mile sojourn through the entire lagoon of Venezia. And we built a boat, practiced in that boat, went back to Venice and participated in this unbelievable event. This year we'll be going back in May for our 36th participation in the Vogelonga, and we're still the only American team that goes over there. So we put together our top gondoliers, guys that have been rowing the longest or are willing to commit to this practice time that we do, and we go over there and participate. So it's been an unbelievable way to bring really the soul of Venezia to the shores of Long Beach. We've got many gondoliers here now that have rowed down the Grand Canal and underneath the Rialto Bridge and met the boat builders and the rowing clubs and such. And so all that seems like some people will say, oh, you guys just love to go to Italy and do an eat and drink and row type of trip, but it really has proven to solidify the authenticity and the soul of Venice and brought an insert into the business, and we can offer that feeling to all of our customers in here.
Bella c'è la luna, brille strette, strette come tutto, bella pasteggiare sotto il cielo di Roma.
I'm Uncle Frank. Everybody has an Uncle Frank, especially if you're Italian. So anyway, here I am on a beautiful day in Palm Desert. I'm here at the Italian deli, and I'm going to have a little lunch. And of course, it's going to be a submarine sandwich with mortadella and salami and all the trimmings. And it's going to be terrific. And beautiful day here. It's sunny and great. And we'll talk about a lot of things, and we'll keep going, you know. I was born in Chicago, actually. My folks are from Italy. And I had a great upbringing in an Italian neighborhood. In fact, I was born at the kitchen table. I still have the splinters from time to time. They hurt. Anyway, but we had just a terrific upbringing. You know, the Italian family's very, very close. Everybody worked hard, did what they had to do. Plenty of relatives and plenty of family functions. And of course, my mother had never have a babysitter. And she was a housewife, Italian housewife. That's all she did was cook and clean and take care of the family. And my father Sam, great guy, fantastic guy, worked his whole life very hard, never was late once on his job, not once. Taught me a lot of good things. My family was wonderful. I had a brother, Sam, and a sister, Ann, and it was just terrific where I grew up in. It's on Taylor Street, actually, in Chicago. Little Italy. There was another Little Italy there also. And growing up there was just terrific. You know, was, nobody rich there. Just worked very hard and did what we had to do. In those days, if you wanted a doctor, you'd go to the phone book and you never see a name of an Italian doctor. Or but you did have plumbers and carpenters and cement people, whatever, and it was great. I had a great time. Went to public school with a lot of other people, you know. Even though we were in the Italian neighborhood, we had Polish friends and black friends and Irish friends, and it was terrific. I really never had any problems with anything like that, you know. Like I say, the food was great, especially on a Sunday morning when you get up in the morning and you smell that sauce and the meatballs starting to fry. And it's just terrific. A lot of, like I say, a lot of family, and we would go see people and take care of our friends and do the best we could. Of course, you had to go to church, otherwise you get smacked if you don't. And life is really terrific. And that's it for me.
Come bella c'è la luna, brille strette, strette come tutta bella pasteggiata sotto il cielo di Roma.